Happy lunch hour, guys. All right, we're going to do one from the garage today because it's a project and I want to show you a simple way to solve a problem that potentially you could have this week, but certainly something to put in the back of your head if you don't want to already make one of these, that you can save yourself a boatload of money and possibly save your life. Okay. Talked this morning about how it's supposed to be over 100 degrees in a lot of the country. What are the chances of your power going out because of too much strain on the grid? You know, that great strong grid we have in the country that's, held together with, baling wire and bandages. But what are the chances of you having a brownout or a blackout or just a complete power failure for any amount of given time? You look at Texas this past week. Texas has already asked, there's no problem as of yet, people to conserve on energy, turn off lights, do whatever, use the air conditioner as little as possible because of the heat and the stress it's going to put on the grid, because, oh gee, we don't have enough wind power harnessed in our batteries. Unfortunately, they've got plenty of natural gas at this point, so they can still create electricity. But when temperatures are 105, 106, the heat index is 120, okay, air conditioners are going to be running like crazy. What happens if the power goes out? Okay. Now, I want to show you a very simple way to make a small personal air conditioner for about 12 bucks. Okay. Something to keep you cool. Yes, you're going to need electricity to do this. Hopefully, over the last 2.5, 3 years that we've talked about having backup power, you have come up with some sort of way of having a little bit of backup power, even if it's one of those little thumb drive lipstick type batteries. Okay, that's something. But I want to show you this. This is literally what you need. I just got back from Walmart. I picked this stuff up specifically to show you this. You need a styrofoam cooler. Cost me $6. You need a little desk fan. Okay, this thing is, compared to my hand, okay, it's what, maybe 4 inches across. You don't need anything bigger than that. Sure, you can go bigger than that. This one in particular has a USB plug to it. Okay, so that's going to give you an idea how much power you're going to use. It ain't much. Like I said, those little lipstick batteries would work fine. So let's put this together. I'm going to show you how difficult this is and show you how easy you can at least have a little bit of cooling for yourself. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is install the fan, okay? And the easiest way to do this, I'm going to show you just to start. On this particular model, there's 3 little screws around the edge, all right? So in the interest of not seeing having you watch me take off screws, I already did it. So what I want to get is just the front plate, okay? And this is what I want to do with it. I'm going to tip this down here. Here's my lid to the cover. I want to get this as far back on a flat surface as I can, okay? So let's see if I can show you this way. So I'm going this way to get it in the back. Take a simple Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw a circle around my fan. So this is what I'm left with. That is what I want to cut out. So, handy dandy utility knife. Let me cut this out and I'll show you how we start assembling. All right, so this is how simple it is. That's what you get afterwards, okay? Nice round hole. Cleaned it up a little bit with a wood rasp afterwards, just to get some of that loose styrofoam off. The point is, because the fan will now sit nice and neat in, as I can do this, trying to do this here, nice and neat in the hole. This is what we want, okay? That is going to be our intake of air. For our port, our exhaust port, we're going to put a hole in the bottom side of the cooler. Now you do not want this hole as big as that hole. You're basically trying to almost compress air, okay? So what I used to make this hole was the inside of a mason jar ring, okay? So we're basically reducing that air down about 50%. All right, so now putting it together. I mean, the work is done, guys. This is it. This is how hard this is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cooler, okay, hole in it at all. You wanna put some sort of rag or something on the bottom because you're going to get moisture in there and you don't want it leaking all over the place, making a mess. Make sure you don't cover your hole. The next thing we got to do is put whatever it is that's cold that we want to transfer the air to. Now, this is where you can get creative. You can take a gallon milk jug, put it in the freezer, fill it with water, and you've got this big block of ice. Are you defrosting meat for dinner tonight? Throw it in the cooler here. Use that cold air to cool yourself off while it's defrosting. Being in the garage, okay, in the freezer back over in the corner, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of bags of frozen corn from the garden, okay? Stack all these up. That's 5 of them, okay, which I probably could put 6 in here, but for demonstration purposes, it works. I am not covering that, putting anything over that hole. I want that airflow, okay? This is the reason why the hole's at the bottom and the intake hole is at the back. I want that airflow to go from the back of the cooler down in front because cold air sinks and out that vent, okay? Okay, so this is what I have. I've got a pile of corn there, a hole down in the bottom on top of the rag. I'm going to take my lid, put it over the top, seal it on down. Doesn't have to be taped shut or anything like that. And now I can put my fan right there on top and it will sit. Okay, so that's putting it together, how difficult that is, right? So now let's talk about performance or anything like that. First off, how do I power this? I want to show you this real quick. So let me turn the camera, okay? And we're going to get down here as best I can. All right, so there is my EcoFlow Delta Mini. And I want you to watch this. I'm going to plug this in, okay? Get it right. There we go. Okay, you probably heard the fan kick on there. I can feel cold air blowing on me. The cooler is maybe about, 2.5 feet away from me. Look right here. This is using between 2 and 3 watts of power. My generator's at 63%. It'll run at this rate for 80 hours. My corn will have long been defrosted before then, okay? All right, so let's put this to the test with the thermometer, okay? So if you look on the thermometer here, I mean, it's an indoor-outdoor thermometer. It says 73 on the top, 76 on the bottom. So, I mean, that's what it's supposed to be. But let's just look at both. There's a 3-degree difference. Let's see what putting the outdoor unit on to test the outdoor temperature in front of the cooler. Let's give it a half an hour. It's 9:57 according to the clock on here. Let's give it a half an hour and see how much the air in front of me is cooler. Okay, it is 10:27, been a half an hour. There's our thermometer reading, 70. I was down at 69, so we'll see what it was. But in a half an hour, 3 to 6 degrees cooler. I'm sitting here, I can almost reach the hole, okay? So it's my arm length, so 3 feet long, okay? And it dropped the temperature 3 to 6 degrees. I'd say that's at least proof of concept that this works. Now, if you want to go bigger, sure, okay? Get your, you got an old cooler that you're willing to trash, because you got a couple holes in it, okay? Put a bigger fan in there, yeah, it can be, What do you have in the way of scrap? An old fan that you can use, an old cooler that you can use. Corn, really? Okay. Used what was convenient. But these are the kind of ideas that we have to come up with, guys. If it's going to be 106 degrees in Oklahoma City today, and you can get 3 to 6 degrees cooler, sitting in a chair with some cool air blowing on you. Like I said, I can feel this air blowing on me right here. It actually feels good. Okay. Granted, it's not 100 degrees here yet. It's still morning, and I'm in the garage. Now, the garage stays cool, but it doesn't get super hot either. But there's proof of concept, at least, that something that I put together in 5 minutes for $12 works. Come up with ideas for cooling. A lot of you said you don't have $700-800 to buy a AC unit, solar powered AC unit. There's an idea for you right there. Just saying. Like I said, little pen light battery, 3 watts is what it pulls. That'll work for a while. You can buy those little pen light batteries in the lipstick batteries in the checkout line at Walmart. Just saying. Pinball out.